William wiped down the scratched titanium counter of his tavern, the quantum rest, as the bioluminescent evening descended over New Europa's domed colony. The establishment sat on the fringe of Sector 7, where the artificial atmosphere generators hummed their eternal song and few questions were asked about the clientele. For 3 years, he had maintained his routine. Every evening at 2100 hours, he would prepare a specific meal. Synthesized proteins calibrated to a xenobiological metabolic rate of zero point 0.4 standard units. Trace minerals found only in Kepler, 442b's regolith, and a peculiar combination of amino acids that human synthesizers weren't designed to produce. He had modified his kitchen's molecular printer extensively to achieve the correct isotopic ratios. The meal was for Elsa. She wasn't human, though she wore the approximation of humanity well. Her biosynthetic skin, a marvel of adaptive camouflage technology, concealed the crystalline endoskeleton beneath. To casual observers, she appeared as an elderly woman, perhaps 70 standard years, with silver hair and eyes that seemed to hold the weight of centuries. But William knew better. He had seen her true form once, 3 years ago, when she had collapsed in the alley behind his tavern, her camouflage failing, revealing the prismatic lattice structure of her actual body. She was crystalline, one of the oldest sentient species in the known galaxy, whose civilization had peaked 40,000 years before humans had discovered fire. Now, they were scattered, hunted, their knowledge coveted by a dozen interstellar factions. "You're late tonight," William said softly as the back door's electromagnetic seal disengaged. The security system he had installed cost him 6 months of profits, designed to mask biological signatures from orbital scanners. Elsa materialized from the shadows, her human form flickering slightly, a sign her energy reserves were depleting. "The patrols have increased," she said, her voice carrying harmonics no human vocal cords could produce, though she modulated them well. "The consortium is getting closer." William slid the prepared meal across the counter. The plate itself was a modified containment field, maintaining the food at exactly 317.3 Kelvin, the optimal temperature for crystalline consumption. "Eat first. We'll worry about them later." As she consumed the meal, a process that looked like eating but was actually a form of molecular absorption, William's neural implant pinged. "Security alert. 2 vehicles, heavy class, approaching at high velocity. ETA, 90 seconds. His heart rate spiked. The implant registered it immediately, 142 beats per minute. "Elsa," he said quietly, already moving toward the emergency protocols he had designed but prayed never to use. "We have company." She looked up, and for a moment, her camouflage dropped completely. Her true form was breathtaking. A geometric arrangement of crystalline structures that refracted light in impossible ways, each facet containing what appeared to be entire galaxies of information stored in quantum states. She was a living database, a repository of knowledge that predated human civilization by millennia. "The consortium?" she asked. "Unmarked vehicles. Military-grade shielding. It's either them or someone worse." The consortium, officially known as the Interspecies Technology Acquisition Group, had been hunting crystallines for decades. Their bodies weren't just biological. They were organic quantum computers, each one containing technologies and information that could shift the balance of power across multiple star systems. A single crystalline could be reverse-engineered to produce faster-than-light drives, zero-point energy extractors, or weapons that violated half the treaties in the Galactic Concordat. William activated the tavern's defensive systems. Kinetic barriers materialized around the building's perimeter, and he initiated the Faraday Protocol, turning the entire structure into an electromagnetic dead zone. "The escape tunnel will do no good," Elsa interrupted, her form stabilizing back into human appearance. "They've already deployed ground-penetrating sensors. They know I'm here, William. They've known for weeks. They were simply waiting to identify my accomplice." The word stung because it was accurate. By harboring her, feeding her, he had become complicit in what the consortium classified as technological contraband protection. The SUVs arrived with military precision, their hydrogen cell engines cutting out simultaneously. Through the tavern's external cameras, William watched as 8 figures emerged, each wearing powered exoskeletons and carrying plasma rifles calibrated for non-lethal crystalline extraction. They knew exactly what they were doing. Mr. William Chun. A voice boomed through an amplified speaker, bypassing his communication blocks through sheer brute force signal strength. We know you're harboring a Class Alpha xenobiological entity. Surrender the entity peacefully, and you'll face minimal charges. Resist, and we'll classify this as armed insurgency against consortium interests. William looked at Elsa. In 3 years, they had shared countless conversations. She had told him about crystalline cities that sang in frequencies humans couldn't hear, about civilizations that had risen and fallen before Earth's sun had fully formed, about the loneliness of being one of the last of your kind in a galaxy that saw you as a resource rather than a person. I have a plan, Williams said, his hands moving across the holographic interface only he could see through his neural link. But you're not going to like it. I'm listening. Your species can survive in hard vacuum for short periods, correct? And you can modulate your signature to appear as background radiation if you distribute your mass sufficiently. Elsa's crystalline eyes narrowed. You're talking about fragmentation. It's not pleasant, and reassembly requires specific conditions. My shipping container on the roof, Williams said rapidly. It's scheduled for automated transport to the outer colonies in 40 minutes. Shielded cargo, no inspections. If you can fragment and distribute yourself inside it, they'll scan you, interrogate you. William, they'll extract every memory you have of me. He smiled grimly. That's why I'm going to let them catch me. I've been running a cognitive partition for 3 years, an isolated section of my neural implant that contains all my memories of you. In about 30 seconds, I'm going to corrupt it completely. Irreversible neural cascade. When they scan me, they'll find fragments, nothing usable. Might give me some brain damage, but I'll live. You would do this. Elsa, you've taught me more about the universe in 3 years than I learned in 30 years of formal education. You trusted me when you had every reason not to. So yes, I'm doing this. Outside, the consortium agents were preparing breaching charges. Elsa moved with surprising speed, her form beginning to shimmer and fracture. The crystallines have a saying, she said as she began her transformation. Translated roughly, gratitude is the only currency that survives the heat death of the universe. I'll remember that, Williams said, initiating the neural corruption sequence. Or I won't. Either way, go. As the charges detonated and the tavern's door exploded inward, Elsa dissolved into a cloud of what appeared to be prismatic dust, flowing upward through ventilation shafts William had modified precisely for this purpose. The agents stormed in, weapons raised, finding only William Chun standing calmly behind his counter, blood trickling from his nose as his neural implant began its controlled self-destruction. The lead agent approached, scanning device raised. Where is she? William smiled through the growing pain in his skull. Who? And somewhere above, in a shipping container bound for the stars, fragments of an ancient being began the slow process of remembering how to be whole again.